Hello, folks. This is Kyle Wertz from the Plucking Petals podcast with James and Kyle. You know, the podcast you are about to listen to right now. I just want to let you know that we had some audio issues and I lost the first half of this interview due to some recording issues and some power issues and whatnot. Our guest is Emily Bamforth, and her problem was different kinds of ghosting. In the first half of the podcast, we broke down different kinds of ghosting, whether it be breadcrumbing or cushioning, and we had a really good time. And then my roommate, Jason, came in. We decided to invite him on the podcast, and I was setting things up for that, and the recorder crashed. And now that is lost in the ether, so I apologize if this seems a little confusing, but I wanted to try to catch you up for the rest of the podcast because I find it to be very interesting. We really dive into dating and whatnot. So yeah, thank you for being a loyal listener. I do appreciate it, and have a good day.
Hey, Garth Brooks.
As we go a little something like this.
It's all about the good, bad, love, hate.
All right, and we're back, and I have set up a microphone for my good friend and roommate, Jason. How are you doing, Jason?
I'm doing all right.
You're doing good. How does it feel to be on your first podcast?
It's pretty exciting. The other day, I was, someone told me basically that I was on this podcast. You guys were talking about me.
Yeah.
You were talking about my mustache.
It was a lovely mustache.
And I really didn't give a shit about any of it except for you guys said I had a great smile, so I was pretty
That's
happy.
fine. Well, you can come in anytime you do
it's
live
heartwarming.
here. It is. It's a heartwarming.
It's very cushioning, if you will.
we were talking about dating, and I feel like
Jason, give us your elevator pitch. Who are you?
Because,
what are you
because
about?
you had a very inspirational speech earlier, and then I want to
right.
get a microphone for that and whatnot. But let's hear what you have to say as a single male.
Am I selling myself? Am I doing my Bumble profile right now?
Yeah.
You can do.
Do you-
I mean,
man.
I can add this to your Bumble profile.
All right, well, I will say I did delete Tinder and Bumble.
Okay.
Because they're both bullshit.
Yeah.
If you will. So I found 2 girls in this year off Bumble worth actually meeting in real life.
Yeah.
And they were both really cool. We talked for a little while. We breadcrumbed or whatever the fuck. And then... And the first
that just
girl...
sounds like a euphemism, not like a terminology. We breadcrumbed.
Yeah. So I met this girl in, I think, like April, and I guess you could say we quote-unquote, like, dated or whatever for, like, I don't know, 3 weeks. Everything was going well, and she was talking about how, like, joking about being in a relationship. I'm like, all right. And then one day, out of literally nowhere, she's like, I'm actually not ready to date. You're a really great guy, but I'll talk to you later. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And then this other day...
Is there a term for that?
I mean, it's called closing a relationship.
It doesn't have as cool of a ring
Yeah.
to it, but that's fine.
It's called communicating.
Yeah.
And then...
Doing what you should do when you're not feeling it. I get that.
Yeah. It was, it's a long story, but I do believe she was feeling it, because she was.
That's true.
Breadcrumbs.
Cushions,
More euphemisms.
breadcrumbs.
Yeah, so she was breadcrumbing my cushion, and then everything was going well. And then she just pieced out of nowhere. Like, I'm pretty good at knowing if I'm doing something wrong, or like if there's not a connection, or if there's a legitimate reason. Like, I'll be honest and tell you guys if I'm like, oh yeah, so I pooped on her face once, and then she like called it off. Like, I'll tell you guys that 'cause it's funny, but there's like literally no reason.
Was this samurai?
I'm gonna call that Houdini.
Just like poof, you're gone.
Yeah, but like with a flourish.
Now you see me, now you don't.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what magicians do.
So anyway, so I was talking to this other girl like a month ago, and we were talking, everything was going well. Literally, we went on one date, and it went really well. And then the next day we were talking, everything was fine. The day after that, she's like, hey, by the way, just kidding, I'm not looking to date right now. I'm just like, why are these bitches on Bumble? And I was talking to my other friend, and she said she was on Bumble for a little while after her last relationship. Mm-hmm. And she said she did the same thing. She's like, I just wanted to go on there to kind of date around. I wasn't looking for anything serious. So I can kind of see why girls would do that. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? Granted, all right, in all fairness, like, I'm on Bumble. I can't expect the world out of a dating site where you just swipe.
But if you're stepping from, like, Tinder to Bumble.
I mean,
Bumble's up.
There's a
It
little,
is.
there's a little
It
more
is.
seriousness
All
to
right.
Bumble.
All
What,
James, yeah,
what's the
let's
difference?
So Tinder, it's a free for all.
It's like when you just want to smooch.
Also, yeah.
Yeah.
But also, people can you have to match, and then you can talk to each other. Bumble, which was actually founded by a woman who used to work at Tinder.
Okay.
Who left and then filed sexual harassment charges against one of the other CEOs.
As you do.
Yeah.
She started it, and women have to initiate the conversation, and it gets rid of that like pressure on men to be the initiators that sometimes turns into like douchey lines.
Is this a... Yeah, honestly, you'd have to come up with some kind of nonsense. Because just, hey, it sounds so boring and you can't...
Yeah.
Well, you'd be surprised. The majority of girls, like on Tinder, because again, usually how Tinder works or any dating site is, the guy initiates. It just is what it is, and the guy has to come up with something witty or funny or like something that works well off the profile or whatever.
Aziz Ansari's from Master of None. Just, hey, girl, I'm going to Whole Foods. You want me to pick you up anything?
Yeah.
But you'd be
Guys
surprised.
have tried to use that on me.
You're like, I've
I,
also
too, have a Netflix account.
Yeah, okay. I
Thanks,
also
Aziz,
pay
I'm
$10
sorry.
a month, asshole. What do you want from me? So Bumble, you're saying Bumble is basically like a Sadie Hawkins dance, then?
Yeah, in your khaki pants. There's
And a
nothing
lot of
better.
girls just say, hey. It's like,
That song
hi.
was the first thing I thought of as well. So.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah, it is, and it's got a reputation for being like less hookup-y and more relationship-y. Though some guys are still on there like, why are you on Bumble if you don't want to like fuck? So.
But
Yes.
in all fairness, it does have the reputation for being more datey, and I do
Yeah.
appreciate it for that fact up until I uninstalled it. But it's still a swipe
it's
left
gone.
and swipe right, real quick,
Same
casual.
concept,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
It's
mean,
it's still kind of shallow.
yeah.
The whole thing just seems pretty shitty because I've seen, like, James I can think of using it, and it literally just is. You're not even, like,
It's a mess.
Oh, yeah, watch it.
discerning.
Well, with Bumble,
okay.
you have unlimited swipes, so there's no reason not to swipe.
I just realized that I was making a hand motion, but what I was trying to get across...
for the listeners at home,
It was
James
like
was
nonstop-
moving his hand from a left perspective to a right perspective with his
Oh, I
index
was
finger.
doing it backwards then, I think.
Oh, so
'cause
you
I
were,
was
you were
going-
saying no to
So I
everyone.
did...
Yeah.
Anyways,
That's how I am.
Very
Dating
pretentious.
app.
You're on there just to deny people.
Yeah, oh,
but
that's
it's just
actually a
like
good idea.
nonstop saying yes.
No.
Like, you don't even look at the profiles.
Oh yeah,
It-
oh yeah, I've seen James do that many times. I've seen you
Oh.
do it too, but we've also been drunk. We've done that
Like
a
a
couple times.
60-second sprint.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
nonstop
And whenever I
swiping.
do that in front of a girl, they get very upset and like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you're not reading their." I'm like, guess what? As a girl, I'd say even if you're like an average girl, I'd say like 8 out of 10 swipes to the right, you're gonna match. And if you're at all attractive, 100% of the time. As a guy, you could be cute and you'll get like literally one out of like 100. Like you
I've heard
barely
that.
get swipes
Yeah.
unless you're like you basically have to be at the top echelon of not be a thinning hair guy and 9 to 10 out of 10 and very fit. Every girl complains about the ab pics, but you got to have one in there. And then
No, I automatically swipe left.
some girls do, but regardless, you got to be really
Left
hot
is
as a
no,
guy
right?
for girls
Left is
to swipe
no.
all on you.
Left is no, yeah.
Yeah, no, you can't do that.
Are there pictures or like certain things you see in profiles that you're automatically like, no go, homie?
So
I'm assuming that's what you say to yourself, no go, homie, and then you swipe left.
tigers? Or
Like,
no?
Wait,
real-
hold up.
yeah.
Because Calvin and Hobbes, he has a tiger,
not
and that's
that.
pretty goddamn whimsical.
No, if like Hobbs was in a photo, I'd be down. But like,
Okay.
no, there's like this park around in Ohio where people can go visit tigers, and they put it in
You
their
mean
profiles.
the zoo?
No, like you go up and like they're right next to these tigers.
Oh.
Yeah,
I just gotta say, this is really specific for your number one point.
Is this what you're doing wrong?
Is
on your
this the most common thing
Yeah.
you see on Bumble or
Why
Tinder?
am
There are
I-
like goddamn 30 tigers today.
You
I
Google
can't-
this tiger place, and it's like, number one in Tinder profile.
You show up, there's just a line of guys on their Tinder just waiting to take a
They're just
picture.
getting ready. They're literally paying admission, get into the tiger portion of it, and then leaving. They're like, we're done. We don't need alpacas or fucking emus. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, I come on this podcast and I'm like, I don't know, I'm kind of single because of the shallowness of dating apps and blah 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 blah. But
But you're
really,
like,
I'm
fuck
just
tigers.
Goddamn tigers.
Those son of a bitch tigers.
no fish pictures. So if you caught a large fish, I don't care.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fair. That's fair.
Shirtless.
James,
Shirtless.
he caught a
If
lovely
I'm
fish.
honest, I wouldn't flow that in a dating profile.
No.
Yeah, I
it was
like
a
pictures
cool-
like that, but not if I'm trying to like fuck a guy.
I was
Right.
very proud of you for showing us that
It
picture
was
of the
the first
fish that you
steelhead
caught,
I ever caught.
and I was very proud of you for it.
Was
So I
it a
don't
big
wanna-
fish? Wow.
I
Was
will
it
show you
a
the
real
picture,
big
but we're
fish?
not going down that.
Oh. No wait, that's Streetlight Manifesto. Never mind.
Which I
Same
think is-
fucking
yeah.
thing.
No, they're better.
That's Streetlight is better.
Real big fish is good though.
Okay, Sell Out is a
Anyway,
good song.
anyway. I think we need to continue. What's number 3? So non-animal pictures.
Yeah.
Shirtless pictures, black and white pictures.
Why not black and white? What are they being
Why
rearing?
would you-
Artistic.
All right, so why don't we go at this from the other angle? What would be your ideal? You look at this profile. What are the things you
Like the
hit?
first one. Like you
And
don't
you're like-
swipe any picture. You see the very first profile
Because
picture,
the
and
first
you're
picture
like,
is the most
yeah.
important.
Like,
Yeah.
do-
What's the picture? What's the words? Like,
What's the picture? What's the words?
Yeah.
Like, am I going for like? This is a hard question because like at the base level, it's just like somebody. No, I do have an answer for this. It's somebody like traveling. I think
Lions.
that's pretty cool.
maybe a
And
like.
then bears.
Yeah.
And the profile is fuck tigers.
Okay, if I ever run into someone on like Bumble now that has that in there, I'll be like, well,
I'm making a Bumble profile.
Yeah, just to see if this is gonna work.
no, it's probably somebody traveling.
Like hiking on a mountain, like backpacking.
Any of the
They're
above,
like have like a thumbs up, or they're like on something like
Yeah.
rocks.
like something cool that like lets me know they go
Oh.
outside occasionally.
Okay, so like you gotta really narrow down cool because like
That's
for me, cool is
fishing.
like doing like a kickflip, like.
I mean, are you looking for like really touristy pics, like the Leaning Tower and like the
Oh yeah, they're
douchebag
like
is
they're like
"Eh,
they're like holding
I'm
up.
holding
they're like, oh
up."
god, I can't do it.
Or just like so something outside, outdoorsy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will say, would you prefer their main picture to be just them, or with maybe like one or two also attractive friends?
No, I would just prefer it to be them.
Oh, you gotta
Okay.
use Facebook for this?
Yeah.
You can.
Are you actually? Is that
I wanted to make a profile that's just a picture of a fish that said "fuck lion."
I
mean,
do
fuck
see
tigers.
fuck
Yeah.
tigers.
You fucked it up.
I do
Good
see
job.
joke profiles every once in a while. It'd be like just
Yeah.
like marshmallows and
Or
like
pizza,
that's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like I kind of want to know more.
Tell me
Please.
more. I have a friend who almost went on a date with a guy from Tinder who had he had like a what's it called? God damn it! I'm losing nerd
Unibrow.
points.
I don't know you were
Yes.
doing this.
Yeah.
He had
No.
a face. He was sweating.
Yeah.
Star
arms.
Wars. Star Wars head
A
thing.
Stormtrooper?
lightsaber.
Yes,
There we
Stormtrooper
go.
head thing.
Oh
And-
wow.
I got a point.
I know.
I
I
get a
just
point. This is not a game show. We can make one real quick.
content.
Is this like a dating game? The three of us are on one side of the table. Like,
Yeah, this is for the folks at home. We are really 3 versus 1ing this situation.
I'm just
I didn't
over
mean
here.
to. I just don't have long enough cords. That's the problem
You
right
guys
now.
are like sitting on the other side, being like, "Well, what do you look for?"
Well, I am
Like,
hunched
that's
over
ideal.
on this
Yeah.
like late night, microphone. Like,
I'm sorry.
so-
I didn't know you were gonna.
Okay,
I didn't know you were gonna come into this.
I have a picture of a guy who's a stormtrooper fishing. Does that?
Wow, no, he's fishing. No, but she almost went on a
Roasted.
date with him without.
Roasted.
I'm gonna make
Anyways.
this my Bumble picture.
No, she almost went on a date with a guy who had a stormtrooper helmet on in his profile picture. That was the only picture that he had of himself,
Mm-hmm.
and he wouldn't show her a picture. He said he was like, "I have no good pictures of myself, but let's just meet in person." And she
That just sounds like a
almost did it.
serial killer.
And
Well,
I was
I
like,
mean,
absolutely
I like
not.
that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not your fault. Your face isn't great. I don't know.
Well, it's not just that. Like, I would say I'm not very photogenic. I'm not saying I'm a model in real life, but I feel like every time I see a picture of myself on anything, I'm not a huge fan of it. I think like most people are like that, but I'm pretty sure I'm like slightly less photogenic than in real life. So for me, I'd feel more comfortable if I just met in person and be like, all right, these pictures, maybe I'm like, I don't know, a 3, but in real life I'm a 4. And I'm like, all right, let's just meet up in real
I'm a
life.
solid 4.
Yeah.
I feel like every picture of me is just eyebrows. Like it's just like giant eyebrows.
Is that why you leapt on the unibrow so quickly?
Yeah.
You're
Like, I got
whoa.
I feel that pain.
We know what you're self-conscious about.
Yeah.
But would you ever go on a date with a girl without seeing her picture first? Like on
Honestly,
a dating app?
I would debate it
Probably.
because I would feel like it's one of two things. Either she's hideous or she's really attractive and she like is sick of all the shallow guys just swiping right because she's cute. So I would take the gamble
That's
and
a myth,
show up.
I think. Like, I don't think any attractive person is like, I'm just going to put this profile picture up so people don't hit on me.
Well, what'd the guy look like? That was the stormtrooper.
I don't. She never went on a date with him.
She missed out on Prince Charming.
Yeah.
He was
She missed out
guaranteed.
on free tickets to Rogue One.
Or her head
movie sucked
dead.
anyway.
It wasn't
like,
great.
Like, her head would be in that stormtrooper helmet on the side of a road somewhere.
Yeah,
Like-
well, I mean,
Well,
And
don't
she'd
think
have a
he's gonna
great
give up that
story.
I
helmet.
must say, I don't think that's probably like an authentic stormtrooper helmet. That's not like when you get at Target. You probably like pay good fucking money for that. He's not gonna put some. Her head's gonna be in a bag. Let's be quite honest here.
Okay. Well,
He'll be
that's
wearing
fine.
the stormtrooper helmet while killing her.
Yeah,
There you go.
obviously.
And then
Show
that'll
them
be
with,
his
like-
new Bumble profile picture.
all right. I'm gonna flip it on you. What? Because I never hear about like the female side of this.
Okay.
So like, what are some of the stereotypical things that you see on female dating?
I'm going to
profiles?
give you 2 things. Literally
Okay.
2 things. This is
Okay.
it, period. 2 things. Any guy that tells you otherwise is lying.
Okay.
Number 1, don't have a giant group picture. I'm not trying to fucking play the guessing game of the first picture
It's
is
not
like
Guess Who.
Yeah, the first picture is you and 5 of your friends, and then the second picture is you and 2 friends, and then the next picture is with you and another friend, and you're playing fucking mastermind
It's like
with
we
your
print
I
out
have
the
to
pictures.
We did
cancel
this.
out.
Yeah.
We print out the
Yeah.
photos, and we had like a bunch of red string, and we're just
Yeah.
like going back and forth. We're like, but on this day and this angle, we have this and this.
So I
like,
get that you have friends, congratulations, but like show me on the second picture. First picture, make it very obvious on which one you are. Second time, like second picture or second like good thing, just be cute. It literally, I don't give a
Just
fuck.
be cute.
Just be cute.
But that's what.
There's literally
you're
nothing you
not
could do
wrong.
if you're attractive in any capacity. So good job. So if you're doing literally anything, I don't care. I'm swiping right. We're on Bumble. We're on Tinder. I'm not on like, I'm not on a legit Match.com
Farmers
or
Only?
something. Farmers Only.
Christian
Mingle.
Mingle.
I'm not on a legit dating website. So, and as a guy, we just swipe. We don't read your profile. I don't care what your profile is. You know when I read your profile? After we match. And then at that point, I still don't care. As long as your number 1 thing isn't like, number 1 thing in my life, Jesus. Number 2, my kids, all 8 of them. Like, we're good. So
is 8 the limit
Yeah,
of kids? I guess
7
that's the next. Is
I will
that
be
your
a
second?
7 kids, but no more.
8 is a little too far for me. My question, Emily, is that
Yeah.
do you find that physical achievements on Tinder or Bumble is like a good or a bad thing?
Physical achievements. What do you mean?
yeah, I need
So,
a definition
okay,
for this.
so-
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was
That's what I'm
helping.
thinking,
I
like
was
Xbox
helping.
Is this like
Yeah.
Xbox? Like you've matched with 10 girls?
Yeah.
I will not date anyone whose
No.
gamer score is less than 14,000.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. But remember when I was helping you with your profile and we put how far you can throw a rock?
Oh, okay,
like,
okay.
I feel like
as a
that's kind
joke,
of interesting.
yeah. So the last
That
thing
would
that
be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
it was
What
just
were you
it was
saying?
very stupid. It was hilarious, but it was my Bumble profile for a short while was I can throw a rock 200 feet and then the shruggy thing.
I have
That's
no
it.
idea
That was
how
it.
far 200 feet is.
And I
in
had no idea
terms
how
of
far I can
rocks.
throw. But-
Exactly.
and that's the point. You're not going to call me out on that.
Yeah,
And at
you're
no
just
point
gonna
am I ever going to have
assume.
to prove it to you unless like we're probably dating by then. And then you're like, hey, remember that time we matched? And how far is 200 feet? There's a rock
I
right
got this
there.
really long tape measure available that I rented from
Yeah.
the Home Depot.
I'd probably respond to that with, "Don't do that by any glass houses." That's
And
See,
I'd be
it's a
like,
good conversation
yeah.
starter.
But also, that's a funny
Okay.
That's
it's not
a
like my
funny
max
thing.
bench is 300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like,
It's so hard. How do you like fucking make yourself stand out from the crowd in a way that isn't like pretentious?
You don't.
you really
You
don't.
kind of don't. It's I don't know.
Like
Online dating profiles are rough.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
real
I don't
hard.
even know what the fuck to do. I
Yeah.
would probably just do the picture of a fish and I hate tigers. Like
Yeah.
it's just
Well, and that's where that's my problem is I think it's like you could put something in your profile that's fucking hilarious. So me knowing you and like we would all be like, that is the funniest shit I've ever
Right.
heard. If I was a girl, your dick would already be in my mouth. Like, you know, like that kind of thing. But the problem is if you're a random girl on the internet and you see your profile and you see that, you're like, maybe they don't get it, or because they don't know you, it doesn't translate well over the internet. So I feel like I've done that a couple times where I'm like, this is hilarious. If there was a girl sitting next to me, she would find this hilarious.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, this is like a random person that obviously has no idea who I am, might not translate too well over the internet.
Well,
Yeah.
anyone that's listened to the Plucking Petals podcast with James and Kyle would obviously know that jokes are very hard and humor is very difficult, and we don't always hit the mark, and we rarely hit the mark. So it's kind of like,
Well,
it's-
yeah.
thank you. I appreciate it. You listen to it in your room when we're recording, so it's it is what
I
it is.
try
so,
not to.
Capacity.
It's God damn son of a bitch. I hate. I'm
yeah.
sorry that
Yeah.
I say in
Well,
some
yeah.
capacity. That's gonna be my new Bumble profile. Is just me with a fish, and then says fuck tigers, and then fuck tigers
Yeah.
in any capacity.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's, God. Words are difficult, guys. It's fine. It's okay.
It's just fucking hard because it's like what makes you interesting and unique and someone that would be awesome to date is impossible to just slap on a photo and a
Right.
Twitter.
Well, and that's for me. If I start
post.
talking to a girl, I just want to be like, let's go get a fucking drink. Like, but I know they get that all the time from creepy dudes, like
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times. So I'm here like, all right, we clearly think each other are kind of attractive. You know, we're gonna just do this texting game until we feel comfortable with each other to meet in real life. Let's just go grab a drink because that'll eliminate a week of texting and talking and like forcing conversation. Let's just go talk, and if we don't feel each other, we'll literally or physically, then we'll just like after like an hour or two, if we're like grabbing a drink, then we'll just be like,
You're
all
like
right,
high
didn't
five.
work
I'm
out.
out of here.
See you
Like,
later.
seems like you really like tigers.
Yeah.
So
Like I went on
Fuck
this Bumble
those.
date
Yeah.
where we grabbed like 3 drinks. It was all in all was like 2 hours. I immediately knew that I wasn't attracted to her when she showed up because she didn't look like she did in her pictures. Anyway, so I cut that shit short. It was like an hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm like, all right, see you later. And she texted me later like, hey, you want to meet up again? And I was like, and I never responded.
Oh, you ghosted.
Ghosted.
You ghosted.
Full
You
circle.
You ghosted. I must
Oh,
admit that
man.
the
That poor
texting thing.
girl.
So, how long do you normally text someone before you meet them?
You see, I've had
Is it different? Is it case by case basis?
yeah, I've reached the same conclusion where what's funny is I was like, yeah, I'm tired of these guys just being flaky or texting for like weeks and then
Yeah.
like nothing happens and like all this, and I was like, everything's fine, like I'm gonna go just if a guy like texts me on one of these apps and is like, let's go get a drink and like skip everything.
Yeah, let's go hang out at the Quaker Steak and Lube.
Not that.
I don't know what people
Absolutely
go to hang out
not.
anymore.
Oh my god.
I don't really like that place, but never like that harsh. That's a really negative sell. Like, what did Quaker Steak do to you?
Yeah.
I think
Did you
it's
not
more
like the cars that are hanging upside down?
If a guy's like, all right, let me impress this girl, I'm just gonna skip the small talk and just say, you know what? Let's go
Boneless
to Quaker Steak and
wings
Lube.
Tuesday.
Yeah. All you can eat.
$10.99.
Let's phrase it this way. Like your first date with someone you meet on a dating app should not have lube in the title of the place that you're
Ooh,
going.
that's a good point.
Yeah, because that means they're not.
But that's a
in the
little
form.
breadcrumb.
You're learning these words.
Questioning.
I'm so proud.
All right,
No.
so where do you want them to take you? What's your ideal place?
Literally fucking anywhere nice that's not Quaker Steak. Let's go to Olive Garden. Like I feel like
So
it's just,
if I-
Whoa. When
I
you're
would
here,
go
your
to-
family. Like, that's a
If
big
I ever
part of
have
that.
to do that shit again,
Yeah.
I'm taking her to Peppers. It's a little Italian
That's a good
place.
call.
I've been
Do you
meaning
like-
to try
do you
there.
like
That's like
Peppers?
a
Yes.
second
I've
or
never been
third
there.
Date, though.
Yeah, but I'm liking Peppers, and I'm
Yeah.
taking her to the Spotted Owl in Tremont.
Wow,
Nice.
you're a
Alright.
classy dude.
Well, it's just like I've never been on that again. If I like her, it's like it's hard to tell if you're getting along with the person. Especially this is even not just dating, but with like friends. People, are, oh, we have everything in common. You sit down with them, and like no conversation happens.
Yeah.
You sit down with someone you like it, the conversation's flowing. Fuck yeah, let's just.
Let's just keep
Nice.
going.
I like
Let's,
it, yeah.
as Limp Bizkit would say, we keep rolling. So, this is
Right.
what
I
happens
would like
on
to
the
remove
podcast.
myself from the podcast now.
I actually
and I'm
just
turning
had
off
the
your
same
microphone.
thought.
So, what do you say on average? How about that?
where
Yeah, where are we pulling back to? The
where are we
average of
going back
what?
to?
The average of like texting and then meeting,
Oh,
messaging for that matter.
you see, it goes back and forth. Like either it's immediate or it's like after like 2 weeks. Like there's no
Okay.
in between for me.
Gotcha.
And yeah, but I was like, oh yeah, let's experiment with like if I go out with a guy who asked me out right away, and that did not work out.
Yeah.
So it's just like It depends on the time. Like, I would say if you're texting longer than like 2 weeks, you're never going to see them.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that
they
makes
are,
sense.
they are gone. Like,
Gotcha.
there was this. No, I'm not going to go into that story.
That's fine. That's
Go
fine.
into that
Maybe you
story.
should, but every name should be like Felicity or something.
Yeah.
There was a medical resident. Let's
Okay.
phrase this.
What does that mean?
His name was what's the guy? House. Is Dr. House.
A Dr. House.
Gregory.
So he
Gregory
was
House.
working in a hospital,
Okay.
and I was
had a
talking
cane?
to him. Yeah, he had a cane.
And he
he
kept
had
saying
an
the word lupus over and over again. I don't know what happened.
That's
I've
a
actually
real
never seen the
turn-off.
show. I don't. That's all I know about the show. He keeps
'Cause
saying
it's
things are
terrible
lupus.
but-
Yeah.
He really liked tigers.
Mm-hmm.
This was the man who turned me off tigers. No, no. And I was talking to him for like 2 weeks, and eventually, like 3/4 of the way through the 2 weeks, he was like, "Let's meet up, whatever." I was like, "Cool," and then he disappeared for 6 days, and he was like, "Let's meet up on Sunday," and then disappeared completely past Sunday, all the way for 6 days.
So, but like, all right, let's meet up on Sunday. What did you hit him with?
I didn't say anything.
So he said, let's meet up on
Oh,
Sunday.
I said yes. Let's do it.
When
Like,
did
text
he
me
say
closer
let's
to
meet?
the
Was
day.
it like Saturday?
Like Friday?
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, that's cool. Like, we'll talk about it like when we get closer to that day. And he's like, yeah, I should be available. And then I think I texted him, and just nothing for 6 days. And then he came back and was like, sorry, I was busy.
I
Nice.
had the longest surgery.
That-
I had to
yeah.
operate on 18 people.
I did that first brain transplant. You heard about it in the news. It took all 6 days.
Yeah,
Like,
I did not sleep
It
one
didn't
way.
Yeah.
Well, and that's where if you want to roll back to legit breadcrumbing,
Yeah.
breadcrumbs. If you are at all interested in someone, so like if that were to happen, if he was at all interested in you, you would be like, hey, just so you know, I'm tied up with work,
Exactly.
family, vacation,
Yeah.
etc. I'd be like, hey,
Exactly.
I'm so sorry, I'm gonna be MIA for like a couple days. I still want to meet up with you, but I'm gonna have to bail on Sunday. Be done with it.
Yeah.
Now that goes back to like some people are like, oh, well, you don't want to lead a girl on, so you just want to like ghost her, and then like, nah, just if he
If
actually
that's
gave a
his
shit,
intent, yeah.
right? If he
Yeah.
gave a shit,
Yeah.
he would be like, hey, and
You can
obviously
always
he did
find
something.
time, or at least make up for it in
Right.
some
Like,
capacity.
just a
Was he
text.
so busy to
Would've been
say,
fine.
hey, gotta bail, talk to you in a couple days, or like,
Like,
even that would be
literally,
better,
right? Like,
At some point, he had to go to the bathroom.
even if he's saving lives, he can like take a moment.
What an
yeah,
asshole!
So,
he
like-
could take a moment in
Yeah.
between resuscitating
Yeah.
someone.
That's not the worst one though. The worst one was I went on a date with a guy and I didn't hear from him for 4 months.
So how'd the date feel though? Like, what did you feel like? Maybe feel wasn't the right word.
Was it cushiony?
was it
Yeah.
was it cushiony? Did it feel
But
like a
I
nice
was
bounce?
thinking, like, for me, that's like, it's the entire thing's a visceral experience.
Right.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like logic. Hey, here are the things I like. The girl could like absolutely none of those, and it could still like click wonderfully. Like, it feels good. And then
Right.
you could be like, I love everything she loves, and this was the most horrible date of my life.
Right.
Yeah.
You either click or you don't.
So
Right.
did
Yeah.
you feel like it clicked? Is kinda
I felt like I felt like it was one of those situations where like I would need to go out with the guy again a second time to see if like the
That's
nail was
fair.
really in the coffin.
Yeah.
And he had talked to me like right after it happened. And then he just disappeared. And then he texted me on a plane when he was going back to Brazil because he was from Brazil.
Oh,
He texted
that's your problem.
I think it was just location.
No, he was a grad student. He was going back for the holidays.
Okay.
And he said, sorry, I was busy writing papers. But I'm texting you from a plane. So does that cancel it out?
Dude, you don't fucking make that.
Does
call.
that
Like,
I hope-
cancel
I
it
was-
I hope
out?
you just didn't say anything.
I was writing papers.
Or you
Was
put like
For
a
4
winky
months.
face
Yeah.
emoji? Yeah. Non-stop just typing at the
And
keys.
then he texted me on Christmas. And that was
And he said,
it.
still writing the papers.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, here's my thesis.
Still on a plane too.
Still on a plane. I got stuck.
it's still on the runway.
Yeah, still on the runway.
I-
They have some movies for free, so that's kind of nice. Keep watching Drillbit Taylor.
I still want to. I have his number on my phone. And I still want to text him like now, like 4 or 5 years later, and be like, hey, sorry, I was writing papers. Like, what's
No,
up?
just this Christmas. So how long has it been since he sent you Merry Christmas?
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it Merry Christmas or was it Happy Holidays?
It was.
I want to
it
know how
was-
specific he got.
Yeah,
It
and
was-
how insensitive he
It was
is.
happy. It was Happy Christmas because he knew I was British, and so he was using like the the British phrasing, and he was like, "What do you guys call Santa Claus over there?" And I just like literally said nothing.
And he just said petrol, and you're like, "Fuck off."
You're like, you're really a grad
it's
student?
the same
really?
as Santa Claus, but it's in liters.
But yeah, it was a weird situation. That was like in 2013.
All right. Well, this Christmas, you put it like a calendar invite for yourself and say,
Yeah, I would like.
Text
I'm
back
gonna remind you
Dr.
because
Brazil or whatever.
we want to know.
You're like invested in it now.
I'm invested in the story of Brazil man.
What if we I texted him that and then we got married? Like, how weird would that be?
That's weird to do over one text. I don't know if that's legally binding.
Yeah, I think you should really get the courts.
Or like you'll text him Merry Christmas, he'll be like, "We're married now. Gotcha."
Got you good, fucker.
There's a super weird thing in the iPhone 8, like the Apple's contract.
Yeah, when you agree, if someone says we're married via text and then puts one or two emojis, it cements it.
And if it says "seen," then you know that the person saw that they're married now. Like, well,
basically, what we're trying to tell you is you need to turn off read receipts. Otherwise, they're going to be legally binding to marriage.
And honestly,
for
before
Brazil
you
man.
send a single text, get a prenup for every single person.
I
is
already
true.
had that set up. My legal counsel is very comprehensive.
Yeah,
Okay.
So
serious question: do you have legal counsel?
no.
Okay, I was intrigued. You said you're British, and I'm like, I figured maybe
Do
everyone
you
in
have-
Britain has a lawyer. Like, I don't know. I don't know how that works over there.
So
you fucking kidding?
I know one
50%
person.
of the population of Britain is lawyers because every person has their own lawyer.
Hey man, that'd be pretty neat. You just stroll around, your lawyer like trails you by like 30 feet.
He has a
I
bunch
don't
of
know.
papers. He keeps telling me to sign stuff.
And they all say prenup on them, and he just passes them out to every guy that like looks at you. He's like, prenup.
England sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Sometimes it's dreary, but those lawyers are just hanging out with you. You always have a friend to go to the bar with. I mean,
Oh, and they get to wear the crazy wigs and the black robes, right?
Yeah, right? Yeah, you look like an authentic
Close.
judge.
Real close. What if that was your Bumble picture? That,
I would be on board with that. Yeah, I would be on board with that.
Do you want to borrow my judge
yeah, I
outfit?
got it. Well, okay, so here's the thing.
I have the
I
gavel.
uninstalled Bumble and Tinder, and I stepped it up to the real
To
deal.
Grinder.
Okay, Cupid.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know.
man.
So I signed
Okay.
up for that shit. I haven't spent much time on there because every one of my answers is a joke, and I'm realizing I
That
should
you
probably
have to put in time for these things.
a little bit
yes.
of time. A little bit of time.
Yeah, my friend has a joke about this guy that she met on OkCupid, and she begins the story with like,
Is it my girlfriend?
Yeah.
God
well,
damn it.
This is
She
my
has
way
this
of
joke,
telling you.
asshole.
She's doing stand up now.
She's doing stand up.
And it's all about you.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They're not jokes. She's just talking about your life. It's a big hit.
It's fucking going platinum. She's got a Netflix special next month. It's fucking great.
Which is weird because Kyle talking about his own life doesn't seem to get any hits.
Exactly.
Bamboozled.
You're on this podcast.
That's also
too.
making fun of myself.
You're also on this podcast. We've done 51 episodes now, 52 after
grown-up
this one.
podcast.
My grown-up podcast. It's fine.
I love you, Kyle, but you're just such an easy target.
I know. I mean, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Everyone's got to have roles. Anyways, back to your okay.
We all can't be heroes because someone's got to sit on the sidewalk and wave
Someone's got to be on the bench.
during the parade.
On the bench? They gotta be
I don't
bench.
get this.
I
No,
don't get-
that's a saying.
I've
Have you guys
never heard that saying
I haven't
before.
Yeah,
in
we
my
all
life.
can't be heroes because someone's got to sit on the sidewalk and wave. Like, so, like, if we all are heroes, then, like, during hero
Yeah,
parades,
please explain. Explain a hero parade, please.
it's just like a parade of heroes. Like, okay, so like if I saved like a cat from a tree,
You killed
they'd throw
Kyle.
me a parade, and then everyone would wave at me like you're the shit, and then they'd be all talking about like tigers and
we
shit.
need to get a cat then.
And
to
but if
save
we were
from a
all
tree.
heroes, no one would be on the sidewalk to wave.
You couldn't throw candy at them, and it's a big
Alright,
issue.
I get what you're saying, but I'd never.
It's a real
No.
saying.
I've
I
never
didn't make
heard
this
that.
up. I'm probably just saying it wrong, but it is a real thing.
Have you?
Anyway.
Yeah. Have you had any situations similar to my Brazilian Christmas card pal?
Does he send you Christmas cards? Please tell me he sends you Christmas
No,
cards.
he does not have. My
I wish
address.
I had the wherewithal to take all the addresses to all the people that I swiped right on Bumble and Tinder to send them Christmas cards every year.
That would be great. I would be like.
That would be fucking hilarious.
I would be like if I received one of those, I would be so happy.
Like I'd go to Kohl's and like go to their photo center and like pay money for someone to take photos of me. It'd be great. Anyways, this joke's done.
Anyway, so
was the
no,
question?
the answer is no.
No. Nothing
No,
like
because
that?
generally it's usually me doing something stupid. So like you talk to whoever on Tinder, whatever, send funny gifts, say stupid shit. There's this one girl actually that lives in the flats, and this is before I deleted Tinder. But we did set up a date to go hang out at a bar in the flats, and then for whatever reason it fell through.
Was it Margaritaville?
It was not. I think it was
Beach
Punchbowl
in a
Social
Way.
actually.
That's where you went wrong.
Social.
Yeah.
Punchbowl
So
Social's great.
we were supposed
Yes,
to go.
it is.
For whatever reason, we had to bail. It didn't happen. And then like we didn't really say anything for like a month. And then I hit her up. I'm like, hey, sorry, you want to hang out this week? And she's like, yeah. And we talked. We set up another date. And like it fell through again. And then like months went by, and I hit her up again. And like this happened like I would say 4 times. I'm not sure how serious she was by like the 4th time, but she totally went with it. Like, oh yeah, sorry, like I totally get it. You're busy, whatever. And I'm like, all right. And then I uninstalled Tinder. So
Wow, that was sad.
Well, if you're
Yeah.
listening, please
Please
call us.
reach out.
Yeah, please reach out. You can email us at thepluckingpetalspodcast@gmail.com.
She's like frantically
or I-
writing it down.
Yeah.
I'll repeat that one more time. Thepluckingpetalspodcast@gmail.com.
And if you do that now, you can win a date with your choice of pedal. I would pick Pea Stoops.
I would pick P Stoops as well. He's
Damn
a
it.
total. You fucked up. You need to be
Wait,
on
am I
this
a
more.
pedal? I don't know.
You can be.
How do pedals work?
I don't understand
this
gardening.
term?
I don't.
I mean, I'm learning a lot of new terms tonight.
Yeah.
I know.
I actually only got that from Pea Stoops, who called himself the third pedal, which I
Yeah.
never considered us 1 and 2. But
Yeah.
I
Stoops
don't
is
know why
3.
I find
Question, and I already know the answer. Who's 1 and who's 2?
He's one.
Your head did that.
I know. I know the listeners at home can't see it, but
James is one. I am 2.
Believe it or not, I think this thing was my idea, right? We were
It was your
golfing.
idea.
Yeah.
You called me
We were
on when
golfing.
I
No,
was
we were
driving.
golfing.
Oh yeah, we were golfing. And you're like, I have an idea for a podcast, and I said, I'm listening. Someone wants to talk to me. It's perfect. It's
I
gonna
think
work
that
out.
Literally
might have
one
also
person.
been the last time I golfed.
Yeah, it might. Yeah, I think I'm in. No, I golfed one more time for a bachelor party. It is what it is.
Are we going to talk about cushioning? Because I initially
Yeah, let's
I
talk
walked
about
in
cushioning.
on this talking about
That's fine.
breadcrumbing, and then you brought me on the show, and then we haven't talked
Yeah,
about cushioning.
I'm basically like Howard Stern, like
One-
just bringing people on.
Do I have to like jerk off a midget or something? I'm
No, I
assuming
don't
that's what they do. on Howard Stern.
I don't know what Howard
What are you
Stern.
talking about?
Is that what they do on Howard Stern? Just like weird shit?
Oh, I
Just
thought
jerk
you were
people
talking
off?
about cushioning.
Yeah,
Like,
I
that
know.
was the
Oh
definition of
no,
cushioning.
Howard
No,
Stern.
no, I got you. We're on the same
Okay.
wavelength.
Right.
It's fine.
Also cushioning.
Yeah, cushioning is when cushioning verb is
All
when
right, Mrs. Dictionary.
I dig this.
is when you're in a relationship, but you keep a few people around that you flirt with or like talk to regularly or like view in slightly more.
Yeah, I know
of
exactly
a-
what you mean.
Yeah.
So that's what I feel like a lot of people do that. I mean, I did that a lot when I was younger because it's basically saying, hey, I like you and we're technically exclusive, but if anything goes wrong, I want to make sure I have. It's you don't put all your eggs in one basket. You know, you keep your toes in the water. There's a lot of different
like
expressions.
that.
No, I'm not saying it's
plant a lot of
okay.
seeds.
Well, here's the thing, though. It depends on where you're at in the relationship. So, like, let's, for instance, saying, you're dating someone for like a month or 2. Things are going well, but you find out she's still talking, kind of texting here and there, some guy that she was talking to before you guys met, and I'd
Gross.
be like,
Another cushion.
well, yeah,
Yeah,
a cushion. But then at that point, you would say, all right, well, did we have a talk about being exclusive? Are we technically dating? Like, if we are exclusive and we have the official girlfriend boyfriend title, to me, that's saying like, all right, that means like you're trying to date and you're not supposed to, like, you're trying to do this like legit. Because when
Yeah.
you first start
With,
dating
like,
someone,
papers and
you
stuff,
you generally
yeah.
don't have like that talk or like the exclusive talk, or you're not like mutual or mutually exclusive or something like that. Usually for like a little while. So you have like
There's a grace period.
Yeah, there's a grace
There's a
period,
grace period.
of cushions being allowed. And if you guys are just never getting serious, then like, yeah, you're just gonna have a bunch of cushions, and like that's not a big deal. However, I think we're getting to the age where cushioning, like everyone's looking for something legit now. So if I was dating a girl for a couple months, and then all of a sudden I find out she's still got a couple cushions around, I'd be like, all right, well I thought we were fucking
You
doing
need to throw that sofa out.
Yeah, no, I'm
'Cause
not.
it's cushion.
No,
Stop.
So
No.
here's the thing. I actually thought that was very good, but you gave it that delivery where you're like, haha, look, I'm being dumb.
I'm sorry, I was
Like,
trying-
dude,
I was trying my
that
best.
was fucking not bad.
That's
Like,
fine.
you gotta
I don't
just-
like you
yeah.
giving me compliments. I don't appreciate it and don't agree with it.
I
so-
don't like it.
I know. I don't like.
I would
your-
I won't,
try.
I won't do it again.
I appreciate
anyway,
it. Thank
so
you.
cushioning is fine if you as a person are dating. So if you're in the dating world,
But then it's not cushioning anymore.
what do you mean?
Like if you're dating, like and not and you're not exclusive with the person, then that's not cushioning because
Is dating not exclusive? I'm sorry, I don't.
Well, I think
Dating
there's
isn't
I think
exclusive.
there's casually dating, or I would say no, just dating. Like if you line up a couple dates with a couple different people and you go on like 4 dates in a month,
You're dating.
you're in the dating world. You're
Yeah.
dating.
Yeah.
If you say you're dating a girl, I think that means like you're onto something. You know,
Yeah.
you're hanging out a lot more. You're talking. You're seeing that might lead into a relationship.
Yeah.
But if you're still before the relationship and in the dating phase, cushioning, while I wouldn't appreciate it, I would find it acceptable.
It doesn't exist, is my thing. Is that cushioning, I feel, only exists, like, it. I agree, it's acceptable. That's because you're not exclusive.
Right.
If after that, which is what this term generally applies to, is when you're exclusive and have been together for a while and, like, maybe things are going downhill or whatever, that's
Yeah, no, that
unacceptable.
I mean that is like borderline, and I know I'm going to say this and some people might freak out, but that is like borderline basically cheating.
Yeah.
If you have the intent to potentially hook up with someone else and you're talking to someone else with the intent that if things fall through, then they're there for you.
You
It's
have a
like,
backup.
You have a backup, and then in my opinion, that means you're not all in the current relationship.
Haven't you
You're
guys
you're
seen
not
The
trying.
Dark Knight Rises? Bruce Wayne can only get out of that pit when he didn't use his safety rope, and
And
that's
what-
cushioning.
Are you saying
Wow.
that we always
Wow.
have a
I thought
Wow.
Kyle's thing earlier was bad.
Are you
but
dying?
That was,
Are you feeling
man.
okay? These are things that I
Wow.
would say.
After
know.
52 episodes of
I wanted
Plucking
to make you
Petal,
feel better, man.
No, I
brains
don't
melting
recommend
out of
it.
his
I work
face.
better when I am in stress, so
I
wouldn't
just can't
recommend
get
it.
over that.
Yeah,
That's-
But yeah, no, I've known people, both guys and girls.
Good for you, I'm proud.
Yeah, I know all sexes, all sexes.
2017.
Yeah. So anyway, but no, I've learned of certain friends that were minorly cushioning, and they didn't think they were cushioning, but I'm like, you're totally fucking cushioning, and to me, that's like basically cheating. Like if you're in like, let's say you're in a 2-year serious relationship, let's say you're engaged to fucking someone, and you're still
And
cushioning.
maybe you're engaged to Brazil.
Maybe. So
you send that emoji.
Yeah, you sent that emoji,
Yeah.
and it is you are locked
It's-
in, and you guys are looking at venues
In Brazil.
in Brazil. In Brazil, I think that's how you pronounce it, right?
Yep,
Anyways,
that's exactly
yeah.
it.
Continue.
anyway, in conclusion, I find cushioning in a serious relationship to be basically cheating, and that's like, oh, so you're not happy with me in this serious relationship.
So you think it's
What?
like that along the lines of like the emotionally cheating?
Yeah.
or, like,
Yeah, I mean,
That's where I put it.
You know, and like some people have different. Everyone has different spectrums of what they consider cheating. I consider cheating that if you have any intent with someone else, then clearly I'm not sufficient as a relationship partner.
Okay.
And now you're looking for someone else, and it's like, all right, well, where's that going to lead? If just today all you're doing is texting this one guy, and
Yeah,
tomorrow you're
texting
like,
Brad.
oh, we just had a coffee.
Damn
it's
it,
no big
Brad.
deal.
Fucking
You know?
Brad.
And
you
then
son of a bitch.
and then Brad's like, hey, how about you come to my holiday party? And then you guys
my holiday
yeah.
party.
And then
and
all of a
So
sudden,
progressive.
And then all of a sudden she's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I cheated, I didn't mean to. And you're like, yeah, you did, you
I-
dumb bitch.
It was like you just start
That's
dabbing.
harsh, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
that's what I'm
very
saying.
harsh.
This is though this happened to me.
Yeah.
Nothing's bad ever like that's ever happened to me. But like, I
mean,
feel for
well,
guys
no,
that
you are
that's,
my
you know.
roommate, so I feel like that's pretty bad in your life, right?
You can't even
Yeah.
really like
Okay, perfect. Thank
try
you.
a relationship on if you are not fully into it. If you really do have like little.
Yeah, if you
pieces.
can't fit,
Right,
you
right.
you can't fit in the pants of the relationship.
And that's why I feel like we're all just at the age of no cushioning
Yeah, I don't want
anymore.
to fuck around anymore.
Who the fuck cushions anymore?
nah, fam.
people do. You just
And by
cushion
that
all
I
days.
mean attractive people probably do who can talk to multiple girls at once.
Yeah.
I don't cushion,
I don't have the brain
not by
span.
choice. You
Like,
know.
I couldn't.
I really hope your
That does
future
sound like a
girlfriend
lot of
listens
work.
to this
Yeah,
Oh,
episode.
me too.
Dang.
Right?
I can't understand people who have these huge benches of people. Like,
Yeah.
what do you do?
I
Is
know.
that
Tell
all
me your
you do?
secrets. I want to know.
It's just I feel like it's just a lot of work because like texting people is emotionally after a while draining.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if you're benching 4 to 7 people, like that's a day's work of just texting and emailing or whatever.
That's
like,
a softball team.
That's a goddamn
Well, here's the thing,
softball
though.
team.
I'm wondering is if you're a cushioner and you're able to cushion like literally
Maybe
like
it's a
5
skill.
people. No, what I'm saying is maybe they're also cushioners. Maybe cushioners cushion together. So like if I have 5
Oh,
girls
like
I'm
it
cushioning,
takes one to know one.
Yeah,
kind of
I
yeah,
don't,
situation.
I
so-
don't know if it's a term for it, but it's like that the person who's a cheater is always on the lookout. Hey, you did this, so you can get away with cheating.
Right.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
or the person who's a thief always
Right.
Like,
It's a projecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're projecting your problems. On
But yeah,
one
so let's
another.
say I'm cushioning with 4 girls. Maybe all those 4 girls are also cushioners to their
So no
lifestyle.
one's really committed to anyone out of it.
Exactly.
You have a bunch
No,
of
that's-
So
people
you just
like,
have this giant pool
Yeah.
of cushioning, and
you have a bunch of people breadcrumbing each other.
breadcrumbing,
Nonstop
and
breadcrumbs.
it turns into like a pillow fort, and it's just all the cushions. And
you're really you're
I'm
adamant
really
about
trying.
getting a cushion pun /
I'm
joke
really
in
trying,
there.
and it's just not. There's no cushion puns.
Yeah.
Besides, like I could do like a more cushion for the pushing, but it really doesn't. Really doesn't. Exactly. It doesn't. Like I don't want to go to that.
That's
'cause
actually
it's
my
not-
OK Cupid profile.
next to I love tigers.
The whole thing is just a sham.
That's right. I don't get it.
Shams are pillows,
Oh
Ooh.
man.
which are cushions.
I didn't get that
Cushions?
either. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
perfect. Yeah,
Cushions,
I
like
didn't get the sham thing.
Look,
I now
sham.
find Kyle's earlier comments funny.
This is. I'm just gonna let you know, Jason. This is now on a recorded media, which will be on the internet. That you have found me funny.
Whoa.
How does that make you feel?
I have
That's his
access to
problem.
your computer.
This whole file is
I will.
gone.
I will.
I don't know
hack
if you
your
know this,
computer.
but I am a hacker man. I do this for a living.
I do.
You
I do
can't
the
hide
hacker
anything
man.
from me.
I do the hackermans for a living,
Yeah.
and this podcast will never be heard
Oops.
by anyone.
What happened to
so-
your YouTube channel? It just got deleted.
I mean, are we
Weird.
really? Am I really losing anything with my YouTube
Hope you
channel
don't
being
say
gone?
passwords.
Yeah, I mean, it's just me eating a bunch of foods and then me
That's
playing
true.
games.
Well,
I've
with me in the
shown
other
that
room.
to people,
Yeah.
Kyle. I have
Do
literally
you
shown
really? I am so sorry.
that you were eating some. Was it a potato? Did you ever eat a potato?
Yeah, I ate a raw potato.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
about
I
everything.
showed that
Yeah.
to my friend in Columbus because
Yeah.
I was like, "This is my friend Kyle." He
And he's
eats
like, stop
raw
breadcrumbing
potatoes."
me.
Yeah, stop breadcrumbing. Why do you show
I'm
me all
just
these
your
YouTube?
cushion.
Yeah, do you find YouTubing, sending people YouTube videos, breadcrumbing then?
What the fuck?
I'm just trying to relate.
Oh, I've done it as breadcrumbing before.
Really? You're just
Yeah.
like, here's a funny YouTube of.
The only thing I've ever done, and I did this twice with the the first Bumble girl,
Yeah.
is I posted something on Instagram and one of my statuses on Facebook because I don't really post or do anything.
You post like maybe once a year.
Yeah, it's very infrequent, and
Yeah.
2 posts, maybe 3, during this time were just to see if she would like it. Is that breadcrumbing?
No,
No,
that's
that's
Or is that
baiting.
just
that's
pathetic?
baiting. That's kind of like
And
being a duck.
pathetic
Yeah,
a little
that's
bit,
nice.
but we've all
That's
done
being
it.
like a duck in
Yeah.
a pond or something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
So I guess
I
haven't.
like it. I think dating is rough. James, how's it going for you over there? I think it's going, dating sounds so bad.
I'm glad I don't have to deal with any of this Tinder bumble.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say I'm like confused.
sounds
I'm like,
like
are you all of a sudden
dating.
in the dating world?
This-
You
this sound-
phrased
no,
it
no, no,
like,
sorry.
Bumble profile down there.
Yeah, he has one.
No,
Says, "Fuck
I just
Tiger."
signed in with Facebook, and I actually don't know my Facebook password. I have not typed it in over 5 years. So
Yeah, I had I will not name this person who it'll never ever get back to him.
Yeah.
But he's a very
Is it
happily
Kyle?
he's a very happily married man, and he signed up for Ashley Madison as a joke to fuck with the girls that were on the site, legitimately, like 100% innocently.
Yeah, he's just trying to bamboozle them.
And when I talked to him about this, again, you guys don't even know who he is, so I don't know. I'm being so
Yeah.
mysterious, but regardless, he did this. I'm like, do you ever think if your wife found that she'd believe your excuse? And he's like,
Yeah,
all right, that's a good point. I'll
Yeah,
delete
that's
it.
not.
But like
yeah.
again, I find it like legitimately 100% genuine. He was on there because he was just fucking with the girls,
So
and
That's not
then
nice.
what
Yeah.
you do then, and not even fuck with, just you tell your wife and you do it together.
Yeah,
Like, that's
yeah.
the only way
Exactly.
you
Yeah,
can do it
it's
above.
where I was
No,
getting with this is if you had a
don't.
Bumble profile and then Elise was like, "Hey, what's with you in this stormtrooper outfit
Fly fishing.
Fly fishing.
And you're like, "No,
I
it's
have
a
so many
joke, I
questions.
swear."
You're like, I'm just
Although
doing
this
some massive
podcast,
lulls.
there could be evidence of it because
This is
I'm
true.
I'm already gonna delete it. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
we've
a
been over
problem.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
All
don't-
right. All right.
That's fine. That's fine. I think we're gonna end it when we do a happy ending real quick. So Emily, we have this bag of wonderful,
Oh,
wonderful
dear
happy
Lord.
endings, written by our friend James. I'm sure you've met him once or twice. Not that James.
I was like,
We have a different James who writes all these. We don't know what they are. So if you wouldn't mind by opening that up, picking one of the happy endings out, we have to make a silver lining to one of these bad things that
okay.
James has written, which, by the way, sometimes relate to his life. Sometimes
Right.
they're just drunk ramblings because I got him drunk and then we wrote these down. So
Okay.
yes, if you wouldn't mind reading those for me.
Sure. Child abuse.
Oh, come on, James.
I got it.
Yeah, what's this related to child abuse?
There's a lot of shitty kids out there. They deserve it.
The kid would have been the next Hitler, but his dad just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah,
We've all been on a plane next to a crying kid thinking, oh, I hope to
Uber
God he
driver.
gets beat later.
My Uber driver last night was talking about
Was
that.
just beating a kid in the passenger seat.
Damn it, Timmy. He's like, oh, son of
You
a
pull
bitch.
up and it's like, hey, are you James? You just like fucking wailing into this kid. Oh no.
This kid won't stop crying. I'm just gonna keep hitting him.
We were talking about he was like, yeah, every time I'm on a plane, there's a crying child, and I'm like,
Okay,
yeah.
how did it get to that part of the conversation?
That's how it
it
started.
Was, it was one of my.
You literally sat, you buckled your seatbelt. He's like, fucking kids on airplanes, right?
I was like, my flight was fine from Portland, thank you. It's 1 a.m.
Oh, was
And-
this from the airport?
Yeah,
And that's why
this context is important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he's like, I don't know. I'm always on planes with like people's
Are
kids
you?
who are crying. And
Is this the
guy-
Brazilian guy?
Yeah. He's like, I will text you back on Christmas.
All
Gotta go write some papers.
Yeah. Do you ever get to see the papers that he's writing, by the way?
No,
Was that a
he was a grad student in a completely different program than me.
Okay.
completely different program?
Completely different.
PubMed.gov. That's where all that shit gets published.
Really?
Might be.
My papers are on. Oh God.
Have you written a government-funded paper?
No.
Then it's
I'm
not
gonna vote
on
with a
PubMed.
no.
But
Yeah,
if
I'm
the
gonna vote
kid's-
with a no.
The kid's a grad student. It's probably there.
I wrote stuff about
Anyways.
Shakespeare
I'm gonna have
and
to
how much I
Google that.
hated it and all that jazz. So government's not paying for that shit.
No.
But continue with your Uber story. I apologize.
How dare you? First of all,
I'm so rude. I know.
seeing is the only problem we discussed on this podcast.
We just got into dating. I feel like
No,
dating
it's
is
fine.
that worked. It's less work for us next episode when I don't have to think all week going, what is my problem for this week?
And it's more work for us after this episode because we
Yeah.
have to go date.
Yeah, exactly. You guys are good. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go see
So
my
how do you
girlfriend
guys
after
feel
this.
about
so-
an Uber option that you could check and it's just like the driver doesn't talk? Would you guys like?
I would love
Yeah,
that.
I
I
like
would
that.
I would pay more for that.
I would
Yeah.
pay more for that.
Although I have a problem with talking to them because I get nervous and I don't.
By the way,
want
I thought
them-
this
How do you-
segue was gonna be if you could check an Uber option where like the Uber driver was single and you're like you could like, all right, speed dating
Isn't
in an
that-
Uber. Yeah.
Bumbler.
Oh
That's
my
like
God.
a porn
Can we-
in the making.
Jason,
Oh
can we do a show where you try to speed date people while you Uber drive them around?
Oh my god.
Yeah. I'm
This
thinking of the
sounds
logistics of this, but yeah.
This sounds amazing.
Do I have to
Okay.
sign up as an Uber driver?
Yeah, you do technically.
Well, how does Cash Cab do it?
I was only
Yeah.
gonna
It
say
seems
cash
like
cab.
sexual harassment.
That's why you want to
Does
like
it,
make
though?
sure because
Is
I
it-
heard in the Cash Cab show they're like, hey, it's gonna be the Cash Cab.
Yeah, no, it's
Right.
100%. They
You
spoiled
have
it
to
if you guys
tell
signed
them.
before.
I'm
So
also
you just
gonna-
kind of do that like, hey, it's gonna be the Jason Burr. Like you gotta.
Yeah, the number
try
one
and date him.
complaint I hear from my girlfriends from Uber is when the guys are creepy.
Yeah.
So I would opt
let's
not to do that.
opt. I once went in a Lyft that had 3 GoPros on it, and it was this guy who was a stand-up comedian in Detroit,
okay.
and he was like trying to tell us jokes. And at that point, I was like doing stand-up as well, and I was being such a fucking asshole on purpose because I'm like, I don't want to be
In
filmed.
all fairness, like if I'm trying to get a fucking like I wouldn't want to pay for that because apparently
Yeah.
I'm like your.
Oh, I gave him a 1 star.
Yeah.
And he was, so I kept fucking with him, and I'm like, how long you been doing stand up for? He's like, oh man, I've been doing stand up for like 10 years now. So I'm like, oh yes, that means you got like a solid like 15 minutes by now, right? He got like really offended, and he like shut up after that. I'm like, fuck yeah,
Yeah.
finally, like,
You
fuck
won.
you guys. Yeah, yeah, okay, let's drop this
I
idea.
was thinking of a better
try
idea.
Craigslist,
So
yeah.
you know how they have the new Uber, or relatively new Uber option to do like multiple people. I don't
Uber
know-
pool.
Uber pool.
Uber
So
pool.
Uber.
What is Uber pool?
Uber pool is like if I want to go downtown and someone like over there wants to go downtown, so the Uber driver will pick them up first, then pick me up, and we split the cost of the Uber.
Oh, that's kind of
But
neat.
you know, you might have to take a pit stop for the other people.
Okay.
Whatever. But it's cheaper. It's a lot cheaper.
Okay.
But we do Uber dating pool where there's a guy and a girl who are going to the same place, and
Okay.
then they're sitting in the back seat and they talk, and like it's totally gonna be fucking awkward. But this idea was way better in my head.
No,
Wow.
I actually see the benefit of that. I think there's like, because it's like,
There's
hey,
something there.
you get there and it's like, well, you just fucking go different directions and don't talk to each other ever again if it
Right.
didn't work out.
Yeah.
And if it did,
Or like, let's
That's
say
great.
you use it when you're going out to the bar, and then you're both talking. You're like, "Hey, you want to go to the bar I was going to?" And she'd be like,
and she'd be like, you know
"No."
what? Let me change. Let me
Yeah, and then
change
it's
my
like,
Uber direction.
No fucking harm, no foul.
To go to the
Yeah.
Spotted Owl or
You get to
whatever.
select it, so it's not like an unsuspecting girl just trying to have a nice night is getting hit on by guys relentlessly all night.
Like they both just
Yeah, they
enter into
mutually
it.
are check the option to meet a single person.
Yeah,
I mean-
but also like you
In a
have to be
car.
wearing a GoPro on your head to make sure we have it be able to film it. So that's very important.
No.
No, okay, fine.
This just
it's
feels
an
like
it's a
an
new
app
podcast.
idea.
You just have a bunch of wires on you.
I kind of just want to have a podcast. I just want to be on the podcast full time now. But the whole time is when Kyle tells a joke.
And you
That's
just
all I
tell me
say,
no?
and I just go, "No, Kyle."
No, Kyle.
No,
No,
Kyle.
Kyle. Please no. Please no.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well,
Well,
you know.
yeah.
Yes, Kyle.
It's fine. Anyways, how about we end this? Because this is already hurting my self-esteem. I'll let Jez. Emily, would you have anything to plug by any chance?
Sure. I co-host a podcast.
Okay.
Surprise. Called 10 Minute Tech Talk.
Why aren't we guests on that?
Because it's 10 minutes.
It is 10 minutes long. If you would like to talk really fast about technology,
Absolutely.
we'll talk about it. Actually, we are working on trying to get guests on, so we're
Okay.
gonna figure this out.
Ask James.
May I ask what type of technology you talk about?
Like it's very broad. So
Okay.
we tend to focus a lot on Apple products, which I know I'm that way. Well, no, it goes back and forth on whether we're like yay or ugh.
Well, the one time I listened to an episode, you guys were talking about Alexa and,
Yeah.
and whatnot as well. So you do have a
We
you know,
talk about
net.
net neutrality. We talk about sexual harassment in Silicon Valley. We basically just go
Okay.
all over the place.
Nice.
We had an
10
entire
minutes.
we had an entire episode on the death of GChat and what that meant.
Rip G-Chat.
R.I.P.
Wait, GChat's
GChat.
gone?
Well, it's Hangouts now.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's the difference?
Not much.
Well, they ruined the desktop app for it. There's a couple differences.
There's a desktop app for it?
What do you use?
I've been
I
just
just
using
have
it in
Gmail up.
Oh yeah,
I
there's.
have it on my browser.
Oh no, I have like a little app for it that pops up.
Oh,
What?
Yeah.
I never used that.
What is wrong with you?
I had
people?
no idea.
Oh wait, are you talking about like the?
No, like so on your it looks so when you open it up on your desktop, it's an extension in Chrome or like an app or whatever, and it pops up and you basically use it as a separate window and it has all the people on the left. It looks just like the Hangouts website, but it's like a shrunk little like a little window.
Okay.
It used to be way better because you could have different windows for different people, and now they combined it all into one, so it looks like the website, but like as an app,
Okay.
like on your desktop.
Yeah, because it's Hangouts now. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, or Hangout.
No, but that was basically meant to integrate Google like GChat into a larger suite of Office options.
Okay.
And then there's been kind of a race on who's going to come up with a better video conferencing app between several companies. And
Well,
seems like
in
Discord
Hangouts
is
I was
today-
actually just thinking.
Yeah.
I bet Discord. Fucking,
Discord
yeah.
Discord already has video options and they're like in beta right now,
that's
I
true.
believe.
There's a culture thing though, like
Not
around
everyone knows
Discord.
about Discord, so it's like I think
use
so.
Discord. So
I mean, yeah, we
it's-
all use Discord
Yeah.
it's
here.
like, but it's a gaming culture thing.
Exactly.
Right. It's not like business.
So-
So, well, with Hangouts too, do you know what Teams is? Microsoft Teams.
Yeah.
Because that's what we use at our company, and that's like the competition that
We
Google
use
is trying to
Microsoft
like
too.
jump in there. It's like, well, Teams has been out for forever, so
And then Amazon's trying to get in on it too.
Really?
I think. Go listen to the episode.
Okay.
It's
wow,
a good time.
I'm
It's a good
enticed.
It's a good sell.
These are some nice little
I was
breadcrumbs.
breadcrumbing you. Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, 10 Minute Tech Talk. You can find it on iTunes, Stitcher, other places, and it's on Twitter. It's great. I do
Cool.
it with my friend Taylor, who lives in Atlanta. He's a good guy. Yeah, that's my plug.
Cool. James, what are you into this week?
Super Mario Odyssey. I'm loving that game.
Having a fun time with it?
yeah.
Okay. Cool. Jason, this is normally where we do like plugs and we talk about James never has plugs. So we usually talk about what he's into. So what are you into this week?
I'm single.
Well,
So, ladies, if you want to contact Jason,
I'm on OkCupid.
he's on OkCupid.
I have funny jokes for my profile.
He has jokes on his profile.
He's not on Bumble or
He's not-
Tinder.
he's
in
Not,
case
not
you
anymore.
missed
Not
that.
anymore.
'Cause I played for keeps.
So if you see his face on Bumble or Tinder, it is a fake profile and someone is
Yeah.
acting like Jason.
You've been catfished.
You've been catfished by Jason.
My picture's used many times for catfishing.
I understand.
Obviously.
It's-
And
it's
obviously,
those guns.
you all know what his face looks like from this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. This audio only format of my fucking life. Thank you. At this point, I think I'll be done with my show. So my show at Grog Shop went well. I'm just assuming at this point.
Good job,
No one
Kyle.
caught fire. No one died. But
Wait, you
I
had a
also
show at Grog
cried.
Shop?
Yeah, on the 12th. So this Sunday coming up. But it'll already be
But
done
that
by the
you
time it
already heard,
released.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Guess
what
what?
I'm like. I swear it was like next
Future.
week. Okay. I don't know how this works. How does this work?
Oh my god. Yeah, actually it's
Oh, sorry.
broadcast
So I
live.
should say, by the time you guys are listening to this, I
You're no
might
longer
not
okay.
be single. So, disclaimer. Sorry, ladies.
Might just be...
I probably still will be. So.
Okay, gotcha. So if you guys want to date Emily or Jason, you can email us at thepluckingpetalspodcast@gmail.com. I got nothing else going on besides that show, so it went well, all that jazz. Once again, this has been the Plucking Petals podcast. Yes.
I have a plug.
Okay, you have a plug.
I have
What
a
do you wanna
plug. I finally thought of one.
Okay.
There's a place called Sapporo Sushi downtown, and I
Okay.
go there all the time, and it's really good.
Miso
It's at-
in Parma. Give that a shot.
Miso is good.
This is my plug.
This is Jason's time.
So anyway, Sapporo Sushi downtown. It's like a 1 minute walk from the House of Blues, and I go there all the time, so it's pretty good.
what's like a good day if someone wanted to like catch you to get some sushi? Like
Yeah,
what's
like
like,
a
a
date
normal?
or something.
Yeah, like a date, like a day date.
Oh, if we're going on a day date, I work 9 to 6.
Okay.
So not
Bring
during
a
those
tiger.
times.
Yeah, bring a tiger.
How do you
but
feel
also,
about tigers?
My opinion on tigers is very indifferent. I don't know enough about them or
Okay.
their culture to talk
or
about
their
them.
culture.
You know, I don't want to be insensitive
what
to tigers.
TV shows they like.
And I'm not part tiger, so I probably shouldn't be talking about tigers.
That is true. That
I
is
don't want to
very-
I don't have any tiger oriented.
I don't
You know,
like where this is going.
So-
no.
So, Emily, what's your favorite sushi spot? Since we're all just throwing this out there.
I don't have one.
Okay.
I am uncommitted.
do you enjoy sushi?
I do enjoy sushi. I
Okay.
just
If you were to order sushi right now, name something.
shrimp tempura.
Okay, sorry,
well,
a place to
yeah,
order from.
Yeah, sorry, you didn't really
Yeah,
phrase that
actually,
question.
I know.
correctly.
Shrimp tempura from anywhere.
I
Yeah.
probably would have said the roll too, based on
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
gotcha,
that's
gotcha.
fair. That's fair.
I would have said Shinto.
Shinto's pretty good. It's
I
pretty
like
far away. It's in Strongsville.
This is true, but I like Shinto. That's my jam.
Is that your plug?
Yeah,
Shinto is your-
Shinto. Yeah, that's my jam. Folks, this has been the Plucking Petals podcast with James and Kyle. As always, I am Kyle.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Kyle.
Have a good day. Damn it. You guys are all sons of bitches. You know that?